We'll give people a second or two to get on. Hopefully everyone has had a great week so far. All right, well, I think I'll get started here pretty soon. Darren, do you want to let me know when you're ready? Okay. Well, go ahead and shout out when you get on. Huh? Oh, okay. Thank you for joining me tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera view. Tonight, I'm going to be working with the die set of the month. It's called Tea for Two, and I'm just using one cute little die from that. Since I used the die set last time that I was live, which was Tuesday. I'm also going to use the stencil Teacup Pattern. Looks like this. And I'm also going to use, oh, I don't have a black piece for this, but I'll just use this. The Best China stencil. So I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera view. I'm glad to see that we're getting people on now. All right, let me go ahead and flip the view. Hang on one sec. Hi, Donna. How are you? Hi, Candy. Let me make sure everything is under control. Yep, looks like it is. Okay. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a couple of teacups. So, I'm sorry, I know it's a little bit hard to see, but once we get going on them, you will be able to see them better. So, I'm just going to use this little piece of paper. And this stencil is really cute. You've got your cup right here and your little saucer, and then you've got all of these little patterns that you can choose from, which is really fun when you like to mix up the different medias that you use. I have some that are already, oh, I just lost a piece. Hopefully it wasn't too important because I don't know what one it was. Okay, I think it was my saucer. Hey, Ben. Ben. Come here, babe. Can you help me with something real quick? Somewhere around here is a little saucer that matches this. It's about this big. I bet you are. I just got pictures from my family in Utah, and my goodness, they are snowed in. It could be in there. Look at it around there. But it flipped off here. We can even move this. Well, maybe we'll just do the saucer after all. Let's just do the saucer again, because that's a piece that we can do again. Thanks anyway, Ben. So I'll just do the same color because I made some ahead of time because I wanted to use glitter glue and I wanted it to be dry in time. So we're just going to make our saucer in the same color. You had ice and what?
Everything was crunchy and cold.
Oh, Candy. Crunchy and cold just makes me want to curl up with a good book and a blanket.
I did not miss that.
I don't miss that either. I gotta be honest. Okay, so this color that I'm using is Triple Berry, and it's from Simon Hurley. And I put a little bit of pixie spray on the back of my stencil, just because some of the patterns that we might use are a little more intricate. Plus, because I'm using glitter glaze, I want it to make sure that the stencil doesn't budge much, because I don't want it to slip underneath.
Danny says there's a virtual craft weekend, they're staying inside.
Oh, that sounds like fun, Candy. I am so excited that my weekend is a little quieter than the last couple have been. Looking forward to catching up on some things I need to do around the house. And frankly, I just want to curl up and do a puzzle or something in my free time.
Tina says hi.
Hi, Tina. How are you?
Danny asked, how's the puppy?
Candy, thanks for asking. Louie is doing much better. He's almost done with all of his antibiotics and he's just as feisty as ever. I don't know that he really learned as much as I wish he would have. I was kind of hoping it would slow him down a little bit, but the fence is fixed, so that's good news. Okay, so now we've got our cute little cup in our saucer. And you could mask that. You could do another one. There's so many things that you could do with this stencil. What, honey?
Tina said she's doing good.
Tina, I'm glad to hear that. What plans do... I know Candy has a craft retreat. What else is going on this weekend, guys? Just going to clean off my stencil. And then I am going to grab one of these patterns. Does anybody have any requests? Second to the right. This one? Or this one? This one? Okay, I can do that one. Is that your request, Darren?
That's my request, yeah.
Wow.
Candy said you got to sign up for the garden party with Christopher.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun. I think everybody should really, if you can do it, you should do it, because that is going to be an amazing event. Christopher is an awesome teacher. So look for the garden party. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I thought so. Okay, garden party event. I think there's a couple spaces left. If you go to the Brutus Monroe website, you'll be able to. Well, Darren might put the link up. Do you think you could do that? Huh?
Going to get it now.
Oh, you're awesome, Darren. Okay, this is actually not the color I want. So this is Emma's pink. Isn't this a pretty pink, though? I used this on a different one that I'll show you that's already dry. But the one I wanted to use with this color is fuchsia. I think this is maybe, oh, I don't know. I really like Fallen Snow for its versatility, but I think this is my favorite color in the glitter glazes just because I'm just kind of a sucker for it. I just think it's such a pretty color. I think I got everything.
About making an album for her grandkids.
Oh, that's fun, Donna. You're making an album for your grandkids? What, Darren?
Donna said she's thinking about making that album.
Oh, you're thinking about it. Well, I highly encourage it. I'm having so much fun with this album. And it's just kind of slow going because I'm just doing them as we go. But I really have missed doing this. Donna is?
Yes.
Oh, Donna, that's awesome.
Right now, Shannon, there's a spring cleaning sale.
Okay, so don't miss out on the spring cleaning sale. Oh my goodness. Can't talk.
75% off.
Up to 75% off. There are some really killer deals. I got a coordinating die I didn't have for like 50 cents. There's some that are really even more still of a deals. So go check it out because there are some crazy, crazy deals on there. And don't forget the ones that I brought up on Tuesday. There's so many dies that are so useful. Like I love the one of my very favorite die sets is spring. I've got spring on the brain now. Is sweet. What is it called? Simply Sweet. My goodness. That one has so many just useful ways you can use it. And I'm pretty sure that one's on sale, isn't it, Darren?
$5.
It's $5. And then the ones that I used on Tuesday were, I used the solarium window And I used Fabulous Florals, which is another one of those that you can use a million ways. And the Be Happy, which is really cute. And those ones are all $5 and $6, so you don't want to miss out on those. Okay, so we've got this cup, that I just slid my fingers through, which is why it's good that I already have some made. We need that saucer though. So let's just quickly cut out the saucer. Trust me to do that. I still could have used it, so I'll just hold on to that. Maybe use it on another card. Because we're going to stack our cups. So sometimes you get creative in how you camouflage your boo-boos.
Candy says she's having to see her cards when it safe to the store today.
Yes, Candy, that is awesome. Yes, you guys will have to keep watching our social media because next week is the spring release. I think it's okay to tell you that. I think Christopher already said it, so I feel pretty safe. All right, so this is the base to our 8x8 side. Let me just go over, just in case I have anybody who hasn't seen the album that I'm working on. Let me grab it. So I've got a Doodlebug 8x8 album that I'm working on filling this year. And so I typically will use a solid 8x8 page protector, and then the ones that have 4. Those are the ones that I love the most, but I may vary throughout the year, but so far that's what I'm going with. What, honey?
You can move over to the right. Can't see that face.
So we've got our solid, and we've got our one that's divided by 4. Okay. All right, and we do sell the album and the page protectors at Brutus Monroe.
Candy says she can't wait to see everyone's creation.
Oh, I can't either. It's going to be fun, Candy. All right, so I'm going to use the Best China stencil, and I'm going to just put a little bit of pixie spray on that, just so it doesn't move. And I just like to let it dry just a little bit, and I don't need a whole lot on there, just a little bit. And I'm not quite centered. I'm going to go just a little bit to the lower half, so it's not dead on center. I might even go a little bit to the right. So about like that. And now I'm going to take just a blending brush, whatever you've got.
Nikki says hi.
Hi, Nikki. How are you? Making sure that that actually is my black. And I'm just going to take some Black Soot Distress ink. And I'm just going to quickly do a light layer of this. You could use Raven. The only trick with that is that it may stain your stencil if you use our Raven ink. But it would work really well if you don't care about that. Can you believe that February is almost over? It's so weird to me. And yet at the same time, I was thinking today that Valentine's Day seems like it was so long ago.
Nikki says she's overwhelmed by Maker Mania. It's a big virtual cross retreat with classes every hour, Friday through Sunday.
Oh, wow. That sounds like fun, Nikki. Maker Mania, huh? All right, let's see if we can just finish this up. I love to blend. Do you guys love to ink blend? I think it's so relaxing. I just love using these little blending brushes and stencils. And this stencil is really a nice stencil for backgrounds. I mean, it's beautiful anyway. You could make a card with just the stencil, but I love the pattern. I think it's just the perfect amount of pattern to use for, like I said, you could use it by itself, but it also is really a good starting point for layouts, a good backdrop for your cards with stamps. I just kind of love it. And again, that one's called Best China, and it is this. I think the cups that we're using today are the stencil of the month, because I remember they are a slimline, and that's unusual that we have that. But you're going to want this one in your collection too.
Nikki said to send Chris the website because craft stores in the U.S., UK, and Canada participate and send out kits to do a class or two.
Oh, that's way fun, Nikki. That sounds like a lot of fun. And how many did you say? It's a class every
hour from Friday through Sunday.
Every single hour. Wow, that is overwhelming, but awesome. If you're going to be overwhelmed, that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. That would be my first choice.
Tina's doing the Card Maker Success Summit this weekend.
Wow, there's a lot of events going on this weekend, huh, Tina? That's awesome.
John is doing the same one as Tina.
Well, that's fun.
Everybody's busy.
Everyone's having a crafty, busy weekend. That's awesome. Well, thanks for spending part of your weekend with me. I really love visiting with you guys.
You said the summit is free.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Free is my favorite number. All right, guys, let's check this out. There we go. So I'm just going to hit that with the heat tool for just a second, just to dry it up a little bit. Sorry, my cord is not very long, so that's why I'm not on camera, but I can probably do it a little bit. I think that's probably good enough. I think that will work. Okay, so the next thing that I am going to do is another one of those things that I'm going to show you, but I have it already done because it won't be dry in time. So I'm going to take, so all of the compartments in our little 8x8 album, the one that's got the 4, it's broken down in 4. It's an 8x8 sheet, so they're just about 4 inches each square. So what I do, I'll show you on my cutter, just to help them fit in the little slots better. I don't go all the way to the 4. I go to this number here. So what is that, Darren? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
7/8.
Okay. So it's 3 7/8?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. You did that much quicker than I could. I was counting every single line. I'm good at complicating things. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're going to cut 2 panels. Actually, let me cut one more. And all that glitter glaze that we had earlier, we're going to use it again. And this is one of my favorite ways to use our mediums because they are so beautiful. But they're great through a stencil. They're amazing through a stencil. But sometimes I just like to smear them on paper. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that sounds really silly, but it's really gorgeous, especially on black. I'm gonna start with Emma's Pink. And I'm just gonna grab a spatula. Let me see if I can find it. It seems to be out of my reach. Okay, I wanna make sure I know where my other, yeah, right here. I have it all handy, ready to go. You can use a credit card, we even have, Darren, will you look and see if we still have the media movers? There's a third one that I don't see right here, but I'm not all the way over there. Have a couple things in my way, so I'm not gonna go there, but something that's got a little bit wider is nice for that. So I'm just going to set this up.
Yes, there's
Okay, will you link those as well? So spatulas are really good and really nice, but when you're doing something like this, it's nice to have something wide. Then I'm just going to take a little bit of our fuchsia. And we'll do these two at the same time, and then we'll do the others on top. All right, so let's smear those across first. And I kind of lined them up because if one runs out, it can just go on to the other one. So I'm just kind of pushing down, and I'm going to go across it again because this one didn't quite reach the end, and that works for me. So we've got our first go, and look how pretty that is already. That fuchsia on black is, well, actually, so is the Emma's Pink. What was that?
I like that.
I do too. I think it's so pretty. And then I'm going to add a little bit of tangerine to the mix. And let's actually just do some of the alabaster as well. So this is the alabaster. It's nice because it's a little bit more opaque. Fallen Snow is really nice because it's glittery and it dries clear. This one is a little bit more opaque. So if you want kind of a white fill, then this is a good option. All right, so let's try those.
Jerry Lynn said, hi, thanks for the Facebook line. She made it.
Hi, Geraldine. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're here. We are creating a scrapbook layout today, and these are two of the panels we're going to use. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
What is that glaze?
The one I just barely used? I used tangerine and alabaster just now, and the other two that I used first were the Emma's Pink and the fuchsia. And we're going to finish it off with our two last colors, which are going to be, let's see what we got here. We got Hyacinth is going to be next. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Ooh la la. So I'm going to put a little bit of that on there, and a little bit of that on here. Running out of space on our paper.
I don't think so.
I think I've got some that are a little older than others here. So I think that the size that you can expect would probably be this size, which is 1 ounce.
Jenny says hi.
Hi, Jenny. How are you? Welcome. All right, let's grab this one. This one is called Mermaid, and it's chunky. It's got big old pieces of glitter in there, so it's going to be a fun one to add. I think I need to scoot over just a little.
She has the original kinds.
Yeah, I still have a bunch of those too, Nikki. I'm just still using them up, but like I said, that other size, the 1 ounce size, is probably what you could expect. They got reformulated a little bit, I think, but all right, let's finish off our beautiful glittery background. Oh, I love that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so easy and so fun, and you can feel like you did something amazing, and you really were just, you know, we are just sliding our glitter glaze across our paper. I'm going to move that so that I don't put something right there in it.
Nikki said cool, I use what I have, LOL.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it, Nikki, because you can just let it dry and you can use it when you want to. I love making backgrounds and panels and stuff and using them later. The trick is remembering that you've made them. Okay, so now you've seen how I created panels we're going to use. And now I've made a great big mess, which means I'm having fun. So let me just, I'm going to just put down another piece of paper so that we don't stick to everything. I'm just going to stick it right over the top. The glaze will hold it in place, right? Okay, so let's go back to our 8x8 page, and then we can kind of lay out what's going to happen there and on our panels. So I hope I'm going to move the camera over just a little bit, I think.
Jenny said she forgets, or she puts them in a really important place that I forget immediately.
Yeah, I do that too, Jenny. Okay, so I've got 2 white squares that we're going to use, and then I've got this piece that matches this, and then I've got our dried panels. Can you see everything? I'm trying to make sure I'm scooting over enough. And we'll put this one over here.
They're all on screen.
We've got, this one's gonna go right here. And now we'll play a little bit, okay? So for this layout, I decided to do a layout about Darren. Because it was Valentine's Day and this is the February layout, I just thought, what better subject to use than my sweetie? So I hope you don't mind indulging me on that. So I just printed up some pictures that I like. And I think we'll put that one kind of kitty corner. And then I just wrote a little blurb about him. And then we've got those pretty much ready to go. I cut out the sentiment on my Cricut just because I wanted to have some kind of a title on here. And then these little cups are from our Tea for Two die set. So this is going to look something like
Jenny said she has a plastic basket with just backgrounds she makes, and she needs something she can flip through it quickly.
I love that, Candy. So that's the basic general idea that we have for over there. So we'll go back to that after we finish our other one. So let's scoot this guy over a little bit. And we're just going to start, let's put actually the photos down first. Let me get my double stick tape. So I've got my easy tear tape. And speaking of Darren, I do want to thank him for moderating and taking care of all of those technical things.
Jenny asked, how's your pup?
Oh, Jenny, thank you for asking. He's doing much better. He's back to being his scrappy little self. So I'm hoping that we don't end up in any more little scuffles. That he'll always be the loser on because he's like 2 pounds. No, he's a little bit more than that, but he's definitely
Susan says hi.
big for his britches. Hi, Susan. How are you? Welcome. So when I was thinking about this layout, I was thinking, what can I do to show what we've kind of had going on this month? And then I thought, well, I knew I wanted to use the teacups, but when I decided to do You're My Cup of Tea, I was like, Darren and I are not delicate people. So,
Susan says she loves your lives.
oh, Susan, you are so sweet. Thank you so much.
Donna C says hi.
Hi, Donna C. So my China sets and my layout for this are definitely not your typical delicate China patterns. We went with the bold and bright. Okay, so now I'm going to use glue on the saucer at least. Well, you know what? I really want to pop it up. Let's do that instead. Because I think this is going to be interesting. I didn't think about how... No, I think they'll all be fine. All right, so I'm going to cut these in half so that I have them a little thinner for that. I don't need to cut them off all the way for that saucer. Now, if I can just get it where I want it. There we go. These little guys, they have a mind of their own when you cut them. All right, so all right, let's add this little guy. I think right here. Let me see how wide the cups are. I'd say about right there. Okay. Oh, that's not on there straight. Okay. So now I'm just going to grab my bigger foam, and I'm going to put, most of them are going to be on like the handle or the bottom because I want to stack them. So that will give me a little wiggle room up at the top.
Jenny said she's got a problem with tape runner holding. She's wondering if it's a weather humidity thing.
Oh, that's very possible, Jenny. That was Jenny? Darren?
What?
That was Jenny that said that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's very possible. Let me see. I want to find my little... There it is. I'm just going to make life easier for myself now and grab that so that I can get all of the backers off. Let's make sure I have these in the order that we want them. So I think the next one I'm going to do is I'll do the orange one. And that one, I think I'll just put flat. Well, do I want it flat? Let me try it this way. So I said I was going to put them all on the bottom, but I don't know that that will work. I might have to switch them up a little bit. Oh, so let's do this one as high as we can go, and we'll go from there. So yeah. So do you have this stencil? If you do, have you made things with it? I know my design team has them. And they have made amazing things using this stencil. All right. Ooh. We are getting there. All right, last one. Ooh. That one might be up a little high, but we'll see if we can make that happen. We'd want the handle to make sense.
Jenny, it's amazing how much color changes the stencil.
It's true. I agree. All right, I am doing some surgery. Hang on one sec. So I mapped out our distance, but I may not have mapped it out just right, but that's okay. We'll see if we can make it happen anyway. All right, this guy is gonna go right there, and we're gonna have to shift things just a little bit. I think this is where I went wrong. Of course, down at the bottom, right? It's kind of like when you button your shirt and you make a mistake right at the beginning. Let's move our pink down a little bit. And our blue, and then we will have it. Okay, that works. So we've got all of our little cups in place. Looks like some of our chunky glitter came off. There we go. And then I've got these little hearts that I thought I would stick on there. They actually are the insides to the sentiment that I cut out on the Cricut. So they just kind of fill in that space nicely. It just needed a little something there. All right, so I'm just going to use my pen. And then we'll get our other one on there. All right, so for now, this one's good. If we want to add something after, we can, but you can see why we kind of went down a little bit lower, just to give that something to be anchored down to. And now let's put these together. Let's do some of our, you can see I laid that in it when it was still wet. We'll use some of our tissue tape on our photos. I think, let me see, do we want to do it vertical or horizontal? I kind of like it horizontal or vertical. So I'm just going to put our photos on there like that. So now we've got this one. Actually, this one's going to go down here. So Darren and I have been married for almost 23 years. Oh, guess what I found? It never fell on the floor at all. It was still there. Poor Ben. He was looking for something that wasn't even there. Darren and I had our first date in our friend's kitchen. And it was a triple date. And they put Darren and I, was it a triple date, Darren?
No.
Quadruple date?
It was just us, but there was cousins and stuff.
There were like three other couples there, and then Darren and I. And they put us at our own table, and it was a blind date. But he had come into my work a few times, and then when we saw each other, we said, "Oh, I know you." And the rest is history, I guess they say.
Donna says like to see the photos of black and white.
Oh, thanks, Donna. I liked that it kept them consistent because they were all very different from each other.
Donna says congrats.
Aw, thank you. He's definitely my guy. I'll try not to make y'all sick. Oh, gosh. Okay, so now I'm going to move this over so I can come up higher so you can see what I'm doing better. And then I just typed this out on the Cricut. And then there's a function down at the bottom, if you're familiar with it, where you can weld your letters together. And that is how I got it to be stuck together more so that all the letters weren't separate. Hopefully this is spaced about right. Put our little exclamation on there. That's like enough glue for like 10 of them. And then I know I will lose my little apostrophe if I don't put that on right now. And that's just going to get lost if I'm not careful, so.
That's tiny.
It is tiny. I couldn't get that any closer because I would have liked to have welded that on there, but it wasn't working for me. And then this is our cute little O. I love that the O's are hearts. Oh, let's do our T first. Okay. heart O on there. I'm very glad that this glue dries clear because I definitely get more on there than I need a lot of the times. Okay, so now we've got our little sentiment, and then we can add our cute little teacups. And I love these. These are just the right size to finish that off. But you know what? I think it needs one more thing. So I'm just going to take my little, this is a 0.5. It's just a little black fine liner. And I just want to add a little line, and I'm not even using a ruler or anything, and if it fades out or anything, that's okay, but my biggest trick is just to go over it once, and that just kind of finishes it off. So we'll put this little guy up here, and I gotta remember, because I don't mind if I have a little hangover on my cards, a little bit of you know, whatever hanging over the edge. But on this, we can't have that hangover or they won't fit in our protectors. So this one, I think we'll do one flat and one with a foam square. So let me grab a foam square. You can even go around your main page if you like a border, but I didn't on this one. There's a lot going on already, so I just kind of left that one. All right, so we've got You're My Cup of Tea, we've got the journaling, and we've got our photos. And honestly, I think that's enough for this one. So let's put it in our little page protectors. That's the fun part. I always find that really satisfying. All right, so we'll put, I guess it's backwards, so it's gonna go this way. All right, I always have to take them out. I'm just not able to, well, and I was gonna look at one more thing. Do you guys think it needs maybe one more little embellishment on that page over by the hearts? I'm thinking, even if it's just a little one, I think it just needs a third. I like my threes. Now I feel like it's done. Okay. I put a little sticker here and a little sticker there. Okay, so here is our 8x8 page. And now we'll add, all right, so the openings are on this side. So I think we'll put this one here. And typically I put my titles on this page, but for this time, I liked it better on this side. Do I have the right opening? Yes. You can still get all that shine. Ooh, I love that shine. And now we've got our layout in our book. And we've got another month of layout done. So we can work on thinking about next month already. All right, let me switch my camera view really quick. Okay, I'm coming back. There we go. All right, well, I had a lot of fun with that. Does anybody have any questions or anything before I let y'all go?
Donna said it looks great. Tina said it's so pretty.
Oh, thanks, Donna. Thanks, Tina. I hope you guys have so much fun at your various crafting retreats and events this weekend. And if you're not at one, I hope that you get to have some crafty time and just do something that makes you happy this weekend. And I will see you next week. Probably, I'm guessing it'll be with spring release items. So let's look forward to that, and I will see you then, and have a good weekend. Bye.